everyone, welcome back to another video. I am so excited to bring you guys this video today. I have just gotten done after a couple days. I've spent hours swatching and swatching and swatching again the 120 set of squared Brutfuner colored pencils. What I did is I took them all and I put them into each color family, and then I took each color family and separated it out between the different hues within that color family, and I put them all in exact color order, and then I put them all in my amazing case here, my BTSKY cases that you guys know I love so much. This process took quite a bit longer than most of the other pencils that I've put in perfect color family order because, as most of you know, the names on all of the pencils are in Chinese, and of course I can't read Chinese, so unless I swatched it and then I put a number next to it so I knew exactly what it was that I swatched, I would get very mixed up. So it took quite a long time because every time I swatched something on my scratch sheet to try to number it to put it in exact order, I also had to put the number next to it. I also was able to acquire all of the translations for every single name on every single pencil so that they would be translated from Chinese into English with the help of a wonderful member of the coloring community, and her name is Yijing Yang. So thank you, Yijing, for helping me get all of the translations for these colored pencils. Those of you that are a part of my Facebook group probably remember a couple weeks ago, or maybe a week and a half ago, a member of the Facebook group shared all the translations in a post on the group, and those translations were actually created by Yijing Yang. So again, thank you so much, because I was able to use that, and I was able to prep these swatch sheets. I made a special swatch sheet to use with these pencils because I wanted to be able to have the translated names as well as the numbers on each one of these pencils. So I spent the time to make my own swatch chart, and I will have this available in the Facebook group in the files section if y'all are interested. If you enjoyed this video, please do make sure you give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel and turn your bell notifications on. Anything that you see in this video will always be linked down in the description box below, but do know that these pencils, these beautiful 120 set of squared pencils, they have been going in and out of stock on Amazon, and they're quite hard to find, but anytime I see that they've come back up, I try to post it in my Facebook group or in my community tab on YouTube. If you would like to join my email list, you will find a link for that as well down in the description box below, as well as a link for my Patreon if you would like to support me there. Let's go ahead and get into this video. Here are all of the pencils all laid out in perfect color family order, and I'm going to go through my case and I'm going to flip through it just so you guys can see how I have them arranged. So I start with my whites, and I go into my yellows, and then into my oranges, and that usually brings me into my reds, then into my pinks, and then we go from the pinks into the purples. Then we come back over here to the blues, and I always arrange my pencils in my pencil cases so that they go exactly like this. So if I stop up here, I continue over on this side, and then I come back down. So we go blues into greens, and then we go greens over here, and then here I've got kind of that really cool color. What would this color be? Kind of like a lime peel type color that you would find in the Prismacolor. Beautiful color. There are some gorgeous colors in this set. Then I come over here and I start with my tones of brown. So I've got like a beige color here, which this was the only one like this in this set. So that's why this is over here. And then all of the browns in this set, let me tell you, if you are looking for a set of budget-friendly pencils and you can get your hands on these, this is definitely the set to buy, because some of these browns that are in this set, they do not match up to any other brown in any other set that I've ever seen. And there's just so many different shades of brown in here that they were so hard to put in order so that they looked right. Like if you look here, you will see that there is this color right here. I had the hardest time with this pencil. This is, I believe, 067. I'll never forget that number because this pencil gave me the hardest time, and this pencil was the only reason I went and did my final swatch sheet to see if I could find somewhere to fit this color in, because it was giving me a headache. And I've never ever in any other pencil set have that kind of issue with any other pencil. I always know exactly where to put stuff. So this ended up with the browns, and when I swatch it, you'll see exactly why. It is actually another shade of this color here. So the browns are very different in this set, and so you'll see when we get to the swatching. And then we go over here into the grays, and I've got my cooler grays separated from my warmer grays, and then I've got my black, and then down here this set comes with two metallics, so this is my silver and this is my gold. And so they are in exact color family order, exactly the way that I like them. And I've got my color swatch charts that I created. I already have pre-filled all of this out and matched up the translations with the numbers. And this took quite a long time too. This whole entire process took quite a long time. So by doing all of this, I'm hoping that I saved a lot of other people a lot of time. Now I want to go ahead and show you this here as well. This is the actual translations that was shared in my Facebook group. And this is available to anybody that is interested in it. It is not available for any kind of commercial use because Yijing is the one who created it. And so, of course, I want credit to go where credit is due. And she was so fabulous to have done this. Some of the names on these pencils are really great. Let me go and just zoom in. Now, let me show you a little bit first about how this sheet works. She sent me the Excel document. I turned it into a PDF so that I can have easier access to it on my iPad. But let me tell you, I've had so much fun with these pencils. I really have. So some of these names are so cool. So we have the number over here. Let me see where the heading, if she has a heading here. Okay, so here she does. She has a heading, so she's got the number in the first column, and then she's got the Chinese name. If you wanted to print this out, I guess, and swatch your pencils and use this as a swatch chart, you could do that too. That's really cool. Okay, so then she's got the translation, what the Chinese name actually translates to in English. And then she has the suggested name. Now, when I filled out my swatch sheet, I used all of the suggested names because most of them were shorter and I needed to be able to fit all of the wording into my swatch sheet. And then she has notes over here. So for like some of them, like this red color here is called Red Spider Lily. Of course, the suggested name is the same because it wasn't too long. This one says, in Japanese Asian culture, this is the flower of Hagen, maybe, I'm not sure how to say that. The far shore of Sanzu River, a mythological, listen to me, I can't even talk, guys. River that the dead must cross to reach the afterlife. So she's got like a lot of descriptions as to what they actually mean in this notes section over here. If you are interested in all of the translations and the notes and all of this, if you want to have those for yourself or even use this as a swatch sheet to be able to see the actual color along with the English name and the number and the Chinese name, then this will be available. It has been posted for quite a while in my Facebook group. And do know that these colors over here, they do not match up to what you're going to find when your pencil goes down on the paper. So if you're going to do that, it is a good idea to go ahead and swatch your own colors. I have found that a lot with these pencils, that they definitely don't match up with what you see on the barrel of the pencil. I know a lot of you are going to ask me why, and I have been asked this before, why I spend so much time, or actually take the time to put all my pencils in perfect order, or order what I consider my perfect order. Know that everybody sees color differently, and so that the way that I see color and the way that I put my pencils together may be differently than the way you would choose to sort your pencils and put them together. There are many reasons why it is important to swatch your colors out. And one of the main reasons is because when you have a coloring page open and you're trying to pick colors for that coloring page, it is so much easier than rather just randomly selecting colors out of here, because like I told you guys a million times, especially when you're using budget pencils, the color that comes from the lead of the pencil that is going to go down onto the paper is not necessarily always, or very rarely, going to match what you see on the barrel. And you can get so many different colors out of this color. And that is the main reason when I swatch my pencils that I do a light and then a medium and then a dark. And you'll see that today because I'm going to swatch all of these pencils out for you in this video. But you will see exactly how that works. You can get many different values of that color from just one pencil. And so it's very important to know what is going to come out of that pencil, especially when you're trying to blend colors. And a lot of us like to work with color palettes, and that is another really great reason to have all of your pencils swatched out. I'm going to show you a little something. I don't know how many of you saw my last video, but I had shared with you this wonderful color catalog by Sarah Renee Clark. And when I tell you this is one of my favorite new tools, I'm not exaggerating. You guys all know how much I absolutely love color palettes. When I'm trying to decide on colors for whatever coloring page that I am going to be coloring, I always look for color palettes. If you saw my last video, you will see I either follow the color wheel. I showed exactly how to do that. I'll make sure that's linked in the upper right hand corner. Or I go from a color palette and I stick to the colors in the color palette. And I have a lot of videos on my channel showing you exactly how to choose your pencils for a color palette. In the color catalog, we've got different ways that we can search. And so you can browse by colors, you could browse by keywords, or you could browse by collections. And so if I click here on Browse by Colors, I get all of these colors here, and then I've got even more colors. And then if you just pick a color, say I wanted Blondie Blue, I would click on there and it would take me to all of the palettes that fall under that color, so I can just select one. And then it's going to give me a color palette. Now, if I go back to the home screen, I can also go back here and I could search by keywords. And so I would just click there and I have a whole bunch of different keywords that I can choose from. So say my coloring page was beach themed, I would want to click the word beach and it would take me to all of the color palettes. For that one, there are 4 here. So we've got 4 beach type color palettes, and we could choose from one of those. and it's just going to give us perfect beach colors. So if I go back to the home screen and I went back again to keywords, let's try a different one, maybe nature. So if I go to nature, there's plenty more for nature. So you've got all these, and then it's continued here and continued even more. So you've got a ton of ones for nature. And then if you just click on one, you will get to another color palette. Look how beautiful this one is. But my thing is, let me go grab a swatch chart that I've already done because I want to show you how much easier it makes to match, or it makes it so that you can match your colors up. Here is my color swatch chart for my Black Widows. And if you didn't see that video, I put all of these in perfect color family order as well. And I will link that in the upper right hand corner, but I did the same thing for that set mainly because it comes in several different sets, and a lot of people had all those sets separated. And so I think one of the only ones on YouTube that actually made a video doing that and put all of the colors together and just swatched them all out with you in perfect color family order so that you didn't have to do it and it would save you a whole lot of time. But if we look at this, and I look at my color palette here, of course I'm on the iPad, so it makes it really convenient. I could just zoom it in. And then I've got my actual colors here that I can actually look through on my swatch chart, and I can actually match these colors up without depending on the barrel of the pencil, because like I told you, the barrel of the pencil is not going to determine what the actual color is. So if I'm looking at this color, and look how cool it is to have this on the iPad, I can zoom that swatch in as far as I need to, and then I can see exactly where that range of color is going to be. Now, for this particular color on this set, we don't have an exact color that really matches up. This carrot color may be close. And of course, no matter whether you're looking at it on your computer screen or a different iPad, depending on the brightness or the color or whatever, on different screens, all of these colors are going to look different. But it just kind of gives you an idea. You're going to want to find 3 pencils for each block on your palette. And you are going to want to find for each one, like so for instance for this green, you would look at your swatch chart and you would find the color that matches up best. There is a few here that look really good or very close to this color. So you would have to find some other colors that would coordinate it with that. And then you would find a shadowing color, a midtone, and a highlight so that you can create a color scheme within this one color. So that is how I use them. And so I just think this is a really fabulous tool. I was so excited to have gotten this because you guys know how crazy I am about color palettes, and every time we've done a color along, we're always choosing a color palette. We always go into my group and we all choose as a whole from the artist and the coloring book and the page and the palette, and we just have so much fun with the color alongs. We will be doing another color along as soon as I am able, I promise. I know so many of you have been asking, but I will have a link down in the description bar below in case you are interested in this color catalog. It is a fabulous tool, and there are also what Sarah calls color companions that are actually in the process of being made. Some of them are already made, and those are available to you now. It will give you an option when you get to the checkout, when you go purchase the color catalogs, it will give you an option as to whether or not you want to add the companions on. But what the companions are actual color palettes, just like this, but down at the bottom, she will give you the exact Prismacolor color that matches up to the block on the color palette. So I thought that was really cool, and she is working on some for other pencils and she's got a lot of the ones from the most popular pencil sets, but all of them should be ready by March. And if you were to purchase this now, you would be sent the other ones through your email as they become available. You can purchase volume 1 by itself, volume 2 by itself, or you could purchase volume 1 and 2 as a bundle, and then you can also add on the color companions. I just wanted to show you this fabulous tool because I know it's going to help me so much. Like I'm obsessed with color palettes, and this keeps me off my PC, being distracted by other things where I could just turn my notifications off on my iPad and I can conveniently search for all of the color palettes that I want for any one object that I'm coloring on a coloring page or even a whole page. So it's just a really helpful tool. That is why I go through all of the trouble of making sure that I put all of my pencils in color order, and that's why I spent so much time doing this. And not only that, it's because I have a YouTube channel and I like to bring you guys the content that you want to see. And so it's very important to me that I do that. So I not only have it for myself, but it also makes it much easier for so many other people in the coloring community to find my videos and be able to swatch out these colors with me. And I know that these pencils have been so popular, and so I know that this is going to be so helpful to so many people. So we are going to start swatching these beautiful pencils. I've got my swatch sheets already ready, and like I said, as soon as this video goes up and is available to the public, I am going to make sure that this swatch sheet is available in my Facebook group in the files section, so that if y'all want to be able to download it and follow along with this video, you can do that. And you will also find the translations for these pencils there. If you would like me to go ahead and make that a file as well, rather than it just kind of being in the group where everybody has to search for it, let me know in the comments below, and I will take the one that I turned into a PDF version, and I will also attach that to the files section in the Facebook group. And if you're not already in my Facebook group, I don't know what you're doing. It's a wonderful community, and everybody is so supportive, and we love seeing your beautiful coloring pages and talking about lots of color pencils and wonderful coloring supplies. So let's go ahead and get into the swatching, and I am going to do this to a speed swatch, and then after I have all the colors laid out, I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk to you about some of the colors and what kind of went into putting all of these into color families, and kind of explain how I came up with what you see once it is down on the paper. So let's go ahead and do that now. colors all swatched out onto my swatch charts, and you can see now what my order of color is. And I really love the way that it turned out. I think that I really did a great job on the order. You'll have to let me know what you think in the comments below. I hope that this was helpful to y'all. I just want to discuss some of the colors and how I laid them out and why I have them laid out the way that I do. If you look here at the top, I always start with white, and then I always go into my yellows. This one looked like it's more of a cream type color. It's called, the translation for it actually is called banana milk. And if you look at some of these color names, they are so cool. Like this one translates to orange gummies. Is that so fun? Here's pumpkin porridge. But if you get a hold of the translation list, you'll be able to see that. Again, that's available in my Facebook group. But we go here to the yellows. This one's called durian, which is a fruit. And then rapeseed flowers, midsummer fruit. And you can see that I've got like my brighter yellows, and then I've got a little bit more of my toned down yellows that have a little bit more orange in them. And then I added in my more peach colors or toned down oranges so that I could go, you know, and then sort of my corally colors kind of leading me into my oranges. And so we are just kind of going along here, and then we're coming into our reds. And then we go into our deepest red, and then we kind of get into our reds that have a little bit of pink in them, and then come in here to our more like magenta type tones. And then we just keep on going until we get to our kind of, I guess, like hot pinks. Here, this one's called watermelon juice, and so it is a real true watermelon tone. It's really pretty. And then we get into these pink colors and the brighter pinks, and then the lighter pinks, and then the more peachy pinks into our hot pinks that have purple in them as we go into our purples. And then here we have some lighter purpley colors. This one's beautiful. It's called First Love. And then the purples in this set were really difficult to swatch, because if you look at these, there's so many different ranges of purple here. You've got these purples that have pinks in them. Then you've got this purple here that has kind of pink and red in it. And then you've got these lighter purples. This one's called lilac, but to me that really doesn't look like a lilac. The translation is lilac, I should say. And then we've got here what's called red wine, and it is a much deeper purple. And then you go into these truer purples, but then you get into these purples here that are kind of toned down and much different. And then we go into these other purples and then our deeper tone purples that kind of lead us into the blues. And then the blues are really beautiful. Again, we don't have a really true light blue. That's so hard to find in any pencil set. But we've got these gorgeous aqua colors leading into our more aquamarine type colors, or our teals, that lead us into the greens. I guess these would be more aquamarine and these would be teal colors. And the aquamarines are going to lead us kind of into the green colors. So then we come into the greens here, and then I went into the lighter true greens, more into the appley greens, and then our very fluorescent type green tones into, this one has a little bit more olive in it, so it kind of let it lead us into the olivier, is that a word, olivier? But into the more olive tones of green. And then that takes us into the browns. Of course, with the browns, I'm going to start with my beige tone. And if you look at these browns, like I was saying before, there are so many different tones of brown in this set. Like, there are so many colors that you're not going to find in another set. Like, this one almost looks like it should be with the oranges, because it has so much orange in it. And then this one is called Pink Pearl. The translation is Pink Pearl. And it's got a lot of pink in it, but it's kind of like a toned down pinkish, brownish. I don't know, it's very strange, and I had a really hard time trying to decipher where to put this color because it really didn't belong with the pinks. And then we have all of our grays, and with the grays, I separated my warm tone grays and then my cool tone grays into separate places. Then if we look over here, we've got our silver, what's called Silver Frost, and then we've got Gold Glow, which is our gold. So we've got two metallic colors, a silver and a gold in this set. And that is it for my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that it was helpful to you. I hope that you're able to take your 120 set of squared Brutfuner pencils and put them into perfect color order now. I hope that you like the order that I came up with because, oh my gosh, it took me hours and hours and hours over a couple of days to do this, and then of course all the filming and everything else. But I wanted to be able to do this for everybody because I don't think that anybody else has done it. So you can check my Facebook group. If you're not already in my Facebook group, please do send a request to join over there. But in my Facebook group, in the files section, I will have this special swatching chart that I made specifically for this pencil set because I wanted to be able to put the names for each one of the colors as well as the number. And this would be a great swatching sheet to also use for your Prismacolors, where you could put the name and the number, or any other pencils that might have a name and a number. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Happy coloring. Bye.